How's it hanging, fellow web slingers? This is Spider-Man X swinging at you with a brand new video, and today we are talking Pokemon, one of my favorite subjects to talk about. Now, as most of you know, Pokemon Sun and Moon, the most recent releases from Game Freak and Nintendo, are going to be coming out next Saturday, November 18th, and a lot of the Pokemon community has been getting very excited about this, talking about a ton of things, ranging from speculating shinies, to what the gameplay is actually going to be like, to Ultra Beasts, talking about the new Ultra Beasts, and even talking about their potential team that they will use for these games. And that last point is what I want to get to today. So, here, I'm going to be choosing 6 Pokemon exclusively from the Alola region. These are only going to be new Pokemon. No old ones, none of the Alolan forms or anything like that. No Megas. Not even Shinies, because those don't even count, and they will probably end up being for the same Pokemon that I would want on my team anyway. So, excluding all that, only Alola Pokemon. So only Generation 7 Pokemon are what I'm going to cover for my team, as that is what I will be using for most of the story mode, at least until I beat the league. So I am hoping when it comes out, I am hoping at least a little while after, if I can get it, I am hoping that I can do a playthrough, but no promises. It's a hope. And then I'm going to leave it at that. So, without any further ado, this is my Sun and Moon team as of right now, as of the data mine and everything else. Okay, so, honestly, obviously, the first choice has to be your starter Pokemon. And before I get into this, I will only be covering the basic forms of the Pokemon that I'm going to be talking about, as all of the Pokemon that I want on my team haven't had their evolutions revealed in trailers yet, so I'm only going to cover the basic Pokemon, and if their evolutions have been revealed, then I will discuss them. But if they haven't, then I will speculate what we might see out of it, like abilities, if they change type, how good they can be in battle, and I'll do that for the other Pokemon too. So, back to the subject at hand. My starter Pokemon is very set on the little wings of the grass starter, Rowlet. Now, this, from what I've seen, this has been a very popular choice. It has been a bit of a conflict all around YouTube. A lot of people are Team Rowlet, Team Litten, Team Popplio, but it seems like the biggest fan base has been for Team Rowlet, and especially with his evolutions confirmed. Dartrix and Decidueye look amazing, and I really can't wait to use him in the new games, especially the fact that Decidueye turns into a Grass Ghost Archer, which, out of all the TV shows we've seen so far, out of like superhero base, I think my favorite so far has been Arrow. I'm watching Arrow right now on Netflix, as a matter of fact. I'm trying to work on getting through the series, catching up, but I'm absolutely loving it so far. So I'm glad that they made a Pokemon based on this concept, and that they did such an amazing job with it. Ghost type really fits in at Archer. They try, especially people like Arrow in the show, they work with stealth and striking from the shadows. So Ghost type actually fits really well. I'm thinking, because of its signature move being Ghost type, that the entire Rowlet line will end up being really fast special attackers and great sweepers that will be able to just like take down anything that comes through. And I'm thinking it might also end up being sort of like Greninja, where it will have a very extensive move pool, and it may even get that Protean ability, but we don't know. Because out of everything that's come out of that data mine, the one thing that hasn't been revealed is typings for the brand new Pokemon that we haven't seen yet. Names for the Pokemon that we have not seen yet. And their abilities. So, I don't know. Maybe Decidueye will gain Protean as well. It would really work well as a archer likes to blend into his environment to try to catch his opponent off guard. So that's my theory. I honestly think that for once they should have given these evolutions something special. That there had been something brought up a while back about Rockruff and the starters each sharing a secret. And I gotta be honest, I was really hoping that secret would be something to do with a brand new ability for the starters, at least, that was not Overgrow, Blaze, or Torrent. That was a new ability. Because Game Freak would obviously want to keep something like that a secret. Like, for example, they would give Rowlet and Dartrix Overgrow, that's fine. But then give Dartrix some amazing new ability that would work with Spirit Shackle or something. Alright, so number 2, and I'm going as you would sort of try to get them. I don't know how the story in the game is going to work, but I'm hoping that this is how the order goes. My next Pokemon is actually not going to be Pikipek, because I don't want two birds in the same team. I will catch one, but I probably will not use it on my team. I'll probably evolve it for the Pokedex or whatever, but then I'll probably just go right it back into my PC, and that's probably going to be post-game. My next Pokemon is going to be Grubbin, the little stag beetle. I want Grubbin because, for one thing, he's really cute, he's really good looking, really well designed, like a lot of Alola Pokemon so far. And seeing from the data mine, if those Pokedex leaks are true, then I got a lot of hope for this generation. I really think it's going to start booming really fast, because a lot of them just have really good designs, especially Wimpod. That thing looks amazing. But there's also the fact that Grubbin evolves into an amazing looking bug type. There is the fact that, as we saw in the Train On trailers, that for a starting bug, Charjabug evolves really, really late, at level 40, compared to most other starting bug types from pretty much every other region, evolving at least level 10. I think the latest starting bug that we had was Vivian from Kalos that evolved at level 17, so that's still not a big gap. So, but yeah, Charjabug and Vikavolt, these two have by far got one of the best designs I've seen. It looks amazing. I love how they end up giving it Levitate as a stag beetle instead of giving it up for flying, which is really overdone by this point. And I'm sure a lot of you agree. So, seeing the way that they are, we have seen them in trailers, we've seen Grubbin, we've seen the entire line, and I'm going by the rules in the trailers to judge their stats and stuff like that. So, Grubbin, all we've really seen out of him is him using String Shot when he was first revealed, so that doesn't give us much. But we do get a bit more when we see the trailers, both English and Japanese, for Charjabug and Vikavolt. So, Charjabug, we're going to focus on him first. Charjabug, in the English trailers, we see him using Spark. So that could imply that he becomes a physical attacker. However, there is also the fact that his special ability is this new thing called Battery, where it raises the special attack of their allies. So that could imply a special attack, a sort of special attack part of it. So I'm honestly thinking with this line that they are going to be really good mixed attackers. They're both good physically and special. As we've seen Spark out of both Charge Bug and Vikavolt. Or maybe it was Wild Charge, but either way. We've seen Bug Buzz and Zap Cannon out of Vikavolt. And I think we've seen Thunderbolt out of Vikavolt. So I think they're going to be really fast. They're going to be... Charge-a-Bug will probably end up being really, really slow. And then it'll gain a bunch of speed when it evolves into Vikavolt. And it'll just be offensive. Just like nothing into defense. So you have to be careful there. But it will rely on speed and power. And that's it. It'll just take out everything with speed and power. So that's my theory on Vikavolt. But yeah, so spot number 2 goes to Grubbin, no question. Number 3 is honestly probably one of the more obvious water-type choices. It is going to be Wishiwashi. This thing looks so adorable in its solo form. I mean, it looks like it's about to cry, but at the same time, it's got a really good concept. At that same time, it looks like it's crying, but it's also letting the sunlight glint off its eyes to be able to call its allies to turn into this monstrous school of fish that is a giant fish. Literally, it's like that big, 27 feet, come on. The thing that got me the most about this, and the amount of power that shows from it, is all said in its Pokedex entry, which states that even... Hang on, let me get to it. Probably back this way. Yeah, I know, I've been working on this for quite a while. Yeah, I didn't write it down yet, but on the Sun and Moon website, the entry for Wishiwashi literally says that in its school form, it is even feared by Gyarados. Now, Gen 1ers and the like all know how much of a beast Gyarados is, especially compared to its very bad pre-evolution. Sorry, Magikarp, you're just not wanted anywhere. Except maybe by a salesman. But even then, you get sold off for absolutely nothing. Anyway, so here's how I see it. Wishiwashi, in its solo form, it has a new ability called Schooling, which I think it has something to do with it being... It depends on level up. So if it reaches like level 30 or something like that, it'll start go out as its solo form, and then it'll be like an entrance ability, like Drizzle or Sandstream or Dark Aura or something like that. It'll do an entry ability of Schooling, where it will, at the beginning of battle, call its allies and transform into school form. But we have seen in some of the Japanese trailers that when a Wishiwashi school form gets hit below half health, it transforms back into solo form. So that will not be good. But I'm thinking that overall, Wishiwashi school form, I think the solo form is going to rely mostly on speed and trying not to get fainted so that it can maintain its school form. But then its school form will be so reliant on power that it will slow down because it's ready to fight. It's going to slow down and try to take out whatever's endangering the colony. So it's going to slow down. It's going to get more offensive, more defensive. I could definitely see this thing being a bulky physical attacker. Possibly a good mixed attacker, because we've seen it use Hydro Pump, Double Edge, Aqua Tail, and Surf in trailers from everything that we've seen Wishiwashi in so far. So that's what I think of it. I don't think it's going to get an evolution. I mean, the data mine doesn't say it is, but I don't believe anything until Pokemon actually releases it for themselves. So, yeah. Number 3 is Wishiwashi. No doubt. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want him, right? Right? I mean, it's better than Pyukumuku. He at least has a... Wishiwashi at least has a gimmick. Pyukumuku, all he has is a side quest. Where you literally throw him back into the ocean. Because he's invading the beaches. And for some reason, Sandygast is being too lazy to get rid of them. Because Sandygast could so easily just be like, hey, what's up? Throw him. But nope, we got a side quest. And it's up to us to throw them back. And to not get thrown by Sandygast. Sorry, Pikachu. You will be missed. Alright then, anyway. So, up next, we have the Pokemon that was literally just mentioned seconds before. Not Pyukumuku, but Sandygast. I love this little guy. Ground and Ghost type. It looks a lot better than Golett. Let me just say that. Golett and Golurk. Why were you Ground type? Why were you not Steel? Or at least, you look like you're made out of stone, so why not Rock and Ghost? That would have been at least unique. Which I know was unique at that time too, but I know its original typing was unique at that time too, but it just doesn't fit as Ground. Come on. Have you guys seen Golett? Does anybody think this thing looks like a Ground type? No. It's Rock or Steel. Or, hey, fighting. Hammer Arm, Brick Break, Focus Blast, all that good stuff. Come on. Okay. So, I chose Sandygast mostly because I'm really cool. He's really good looking. And also the fact his evolution. Palossand also looks amazing. Great design. But also its ability. Its ability is great. It literally is able to cover for one of its own weaknesses. It might as well be sort of a very form of Delta Stream, where it sort of gradually weakens its defenses, but only one type, whereas Delta Stream covered, what, 3? But this one defends mainly against water types, and it's not even that big a deal. It's still, water will still be super effective on it, but when it gets hit by a water attack, its defense goes up by 2, which is a great boost, and it means that you won't have to waste a turn to do, like, Harden or something. So you won't have to waste any of your move slots on giving up on a Sandygast Harden. So that's much better for wear as well. With this thing, I think it's going to end up being a special attacker. It might be slow. Can't really tell. But I would imagine that I would have difficulty moving at times. So I would say that it is going to be a bit slow. But it's definitely going to be a special attacker. And it's also going to be very physically bulky because of that ability. That's just what I'm seeing. In the trailers, all we've seen Sandygast and Palossand use is Shadow Ball and Sand Tomb. But both are special attacks. That's where the special attacker theory comes from. And I think that's what they do anyways, because they show the moves that they can learn to try to show whether or not they will be better physically or specially. So, I don't know. This is just speculation for me. So, Sandygast, number 4. Now, number 5 is actually going to be... You just ready for the suspense? Suspense is coming. As soon as I... Oh yeah. Salandit. This thing is both cute and incredibly overpowered. First off, it has a brand new typing, Poison Fire. Sure, it's double weak to Sandygast, but you go for it. You will poison it first. And that's another thing. Its ability. Oh my gosh. Corrosion? Poison any type. That is the best thing ever. Whoever at Game Freak came up with that ability is a genius. That is going to be so useful in battle. I can't even imagine. All I know is already that I can't wait to use this thing. I can't wait to catch this thing and battle with it. Now, in terms of stats, I think it's probably going to be a very speedy Pokemon. Who knows? I'm not even going to discuss hidden abilities. I don't know why I did with Decidueye and Rowlet, but I don't know. That was just something that came to mind, and I do that a lot, so... Now, when it comes to its evolution, I think it's probably going to be the very same thing. It's probably going to be... I mean, it's a fire type. It's very, very possibly going to be special attacker, and it's a bandit. It's based off of a bandit. It's literally wearing like a bandit's mask on its head. And not to mention, it's a lizard. Lizards, I know, salamander, lizard, it's from the lizard family. A lot of lizards are known for being very speedy. So, I'm thinking it's going to be a fast special attacker, like with Vikavolt. So, that's what I had to say about that. And I would assume that its evolution is going to stay Poison Fire as well. But I will just leave you on this slot with this thought. Corrosion, poison any type, except for immunity. Dang it, Zangoose. And Snorlax have been possibly recently told. Because I think Snorlax has a hidden ability as immunity. Curse you. Curse you for life. Okay. So the number 5 spot is going to go to... I am going the wrong way. Oh yeah, and disclaimer, I will not be using any legendary or mythical Pokemon in my main team, so if I do get the game, then I will not be using any, I want to play Moon, but I will probably not be playing, using Lunala, so, cannot talk today. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Spot number 6. I made a mistake. Okay, so the final spot on this list is going to go to a Pokemon that probably is very obvious. And that is going to be the cute little puppy Rockruff. I love this thing. It is so cute. It's bipolar for some reason, because we saw in CoroCoro that there was a image of it being extremely happy and one of it being extremely mad. So, makes no sense. But, not to mention, I want Moon. I want to play Pokemon Moon when it comes out. I so badly want Lycanroc's Midnight form. This thing looks incredible. Sure, it takes a lot of inspiration from Zoroark, but I don't care. It looks amazing, even for a Zoroark ripoff. Seriously, look at this thing. It looks like a reverse Zoroark. Red and white, first off. The hair is turned backwards. The ponytail that was down here is now like a emo thing up here. What? But I also like that for some reason it's like the hair could sort of detach itself, where it looks like it has rock claws on it on the chest. And then I think its claws are actually made out of rocks, which is actually a really good gimmick. And then it's also the fact that this thing is bringing back into the games the significance of the move Counter, which has been here for quite a while. I'm not exactly sure which generation it came out in, but it's a very old move, and I'm glad to see that they're giving it significance. They're making it back in the spotlight with Lycanroc, because this is probably going to be the main Pokemon that is known in Alola for its use. So that's what I think about Counter in general. But with Rockruff, this thing it's a rock type. It's gonna be defensive, at least in some way. And also, with it knowing Counter, Rockruff, especially in the demo, it had a lot of physical moves in its set. It had Bite, Rock Throw, and even Howl to boost its attack. So it is probably going to be a physical attacker. With Lycanroc being a werewolf, I think this thing, if we're talking about a real werewolf, you likely loses control. It tries to go just fast and killing everything. It doesn't even care where it goes. Something it will be fast. It'll be a fast physical attacker, but it will also have some bulk on it. Some physical bulk. And I think, personally, that is going to be a great addition to the Pokemon world. A lot of people love Lycanroc for what it is, especially its split evolution chain, which is a great idea on Game Freak's part. I really hope that it gets as much success as it's been hyped to get. So, there we go. Alright, thanks guys, that is going to do it for this video. Now, if you liked it, if you agree with any of my choices, or if you want to recommend some other ones to me, give me reasoning on why you think I should use that Pokemon in my main team instead of these that I chose. Please leave a like and leave it in the comments below telling me which Pokemon you would like to see me use in a possible future playthrough, as well as giving me some ideas on why I should use the Pokemon that you want me to use. So, leave that there as just an afterthought, and I will certainly look at them. I will respond to it when I get those. So, that is going to end it for this video. And remember, Web Warriors, danger lurks at every corner. So you gotta be ready to catch them all. Hashtag Pokepuns. Alright, see you later, guys. Spidey out.